Okay, seriously, WTF. I need somebody to make this make sense to me. So I made a video a month ago about our electric bill was $830. It made me sick to my stomach. Now, listen, our bills have been high for 15 years, anywhere between $400 and $700. We've had the electric company come out. They tell us there's no problem. There's nothing from the pool to our house. It must be something in the house. So we have replaced everything, all the appliances, new hot water tank, new dishwasher, new washer dryer, the whole bit, right? So I made a video this morning showing you guys our electric bill for the past year. It wasn't until I watched that I realized our new bill is on there. You guys, I am so sick. What a way to ruin my Monday and the whole freaking week now. So our bill was $830 last month. It's $1,253 this month. Tell me how. After we opened that bill last month for $830, we went through the house. Now we had two adult men that lived in the house, our sons, both move out. So nothing is running in their bedrooms. Everybody says unplug everything that you're not using. Okay, so we have unplugged everything. Literally unplugged everything in the entire house that could be drawn power that we're not using. Like our everyday appliances, refrigerator, washer, dryer, stove, microwave, lamps. They're not on, but they're plugged in. So we don't watch TV. Our televisions are never on. We don't have a pool. We don't have central AC. I just don't know. I don't understand how this is possible. It went up $420 after unplugging everything. Somebody make this make sense to me. So I so badly want to do this Christmas open house and invite everybody in and see that magic for the kids and see the smiles. And there's literally no way. I cannot afford $1,253 without Christmas lights. So I don't know what we're going to do. Like, after taxes and insurance is taken out of my bill or on my check, that's like literally one of my paychecks. So one whole check for the month is going to go towards our electric bill. Like, I am sick to my stomach. I don't know what to do. Anyhow, that's my rant for Monday.
Hi guys, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. It's so good to have you. Thank you so much for clicking. When you saw this video, so a lot of Americans are crying out over the cost of electric bills. A lot of them can no longer afford electric bills. Some of them living paycheck to paycheck and crying about, how can I pay for electricity this amount this month and all of a sudden it's increasing even 300%. So a lot of people can no longer afford the electricity bill and they are out here, talking about it. Let's go check them out. Then we'll come back. Credit to all creators on this video. Let's go watch.
I hate to beat a dead horse, but this was the most predictable thing on the planet. This is exactly why I said what I said earlier this year. Sorry to my Michigan folk, but the Gretchen Whitmer slander will continue. Because you cannot negotiate with authoritarians and fascists. This is why I was saying that Gretchen Whitmer cozying up to Donald Trump was not going to do what y'all were hoping it was going to do. Like, there was a lot of Michigan folk who were very upset, saying that, I just didn't understand she was doing that because the state needed FEMA money for the ice storm. And, no, I understood. But I also knew, you cannot negotiate with authoritarians and fascists. I also want to take this opportunity to talk about some of the reasons the Trump administration might have decided to deny the FEMA funds, because the area that was heavily hit was requesting the money to help repair infrastructure, specifically to electric, because the electric in that area is a co-op, which means it's not a for-profit entity. So it gives the residents a lot more control, usually lower electric bills. Co-ops are really good. That's actually what we want more of. It's nonprofit co-ops, public utilities, not private entities. So denying the FEMA funds could mean that the co-op goes broke, meaning that it would open it up to private equity or other utility companies to buy up the electric grid in that area. And at the same time, this is happening. Another reason they might be trying to push that co-op into financial difficulties where they're forced to sell or making it easier for an AI company to buy up the electric grid, middle of rural Michigan, drop an AI data center out there. And I'm not saying any of this will happen. The co-ops could be fine. They could make it through just fine. I also know the state of Michigan is in discussions about possibly subsidizing through the state those repairs. There may never be an AI data center anywhere out in that area. It's to say, but we have to start thinking about things through this lens, thinking 10 steps ahead of not just why it's happening, but when it's happening, and in particular, who would benefit from it monetarily, because that's really what this administration thrives on, is corruption and money. And that even if none of these scenarios play out in this rural area of Michigan, they absolutely are currently playing out in other areas all across the country. And these are things we need to start thinking about and organizing around to find a way to fight back against this, because they will be far from the last people to experience something like this.
Was anybody else's electricity bill insanely high this month? Mine was too. Let's talk about it. Since the start of the second term of this administration, electricity bills have gone through the roof by nearly 10%. On top of that, reports are highlighting and showcasing that not only have household electricity bills gone up by 10%, but also wholesale energy in general is gone up by 74%. And what makes matters even worse is that the Secretary of Energy that was put into this position by the Trump administration has conceded, yes, actually Trump policies do contribute to the fact that the household costs of energy are going up, but for some reason, this is still the blame of the Democrats. And you're probably wondering why. Well, let me tell you why. Tariffs, trade agreements, and also significant cuts to U.S. energy and rollbacks on green energy in particular, with a heavy reliance on fossil fuels and oil and gas, has led for your costs to go through the roof. As a matter of fact, I have some statistics. The administration's rollbacks on significant renewable energy sources and Green New Deal promises have resulted in 64,000 individuals losing their jobs this year. On top of that, cuts to clean energy resulted in nearly $33 billion in significant downfall and significant investments into nearly 123 energy companies across 33 states. The U.S. Energy Information Administration predicts that next year, the cost of your household bills, specifically for energy and electricity, are going to be up by 18%. Now, that's all I have for you guys today, but I highly recommend two things. One, you follow me here on TikTok as well as my YouTube, which is linked in my bio. And also feel free to check back in for updates, particularly on this issue. And I hope to see you guys next time on another short episode of Politics with NJ. Bye-bye.
My light bill already higher than Giraffe's coochie. And you mean to tell me starting Monday in Texas, y'all want to raise it up even more? It's about to be real romantic in this house for the rest of the year. Because we ain't doing nothing but lighting candles. Sick of this shit.
Americans are crying out over the cost of electricity bill they can't afford anymore. And honestly, it's becoming one of the biggest struggles in the country right now. People used to, worry about rent, food and gas, but now even turning on the light feels like a luxury. And what makes it worse is that these bills are rising at the same time people's paycheck are shrinking. Folks are working 2 jobs, 3 jobs, and still can't keep up with something as basic as electricity. All over social media, people are posting screenshots of their electricity bill, 300, 400, sometimes 600, 1,000, and 2K, 1,000 plus, and all the rest of them per month. And this is not for huge houses or mansions. These are, regular people living in apartments, people with kids, the elderly on fixed income, and families barely hanging on. Okay, some people said their bill doubled without their usage changing. Others said they turned off everything except the fridge and still got slammed with a high bill. It's bad when people are scared to use the AC in the summer and scared to turn on the heater in the winter. Imagine living in one of the richest countries in the world and being afraid to warm your own house. A lot of Americans are saying the country is becoming unlivable, and they are not lying. There's no reason electricity should cost this much when the companies reporting these high prices are the same companies making billions in profit. Why everyday people are deciding whether to pay the electricity bill or buy groceries. These companies are, having record-breaking earnings, calls, and giving, bonuses to executive. And you already know who suffers the most: low-income families, seniors, single moms, and working class people who don't have savings to fall back on. Many people are getting short of, notices. Some already had their power cut. Others are begging for payment extension because one missed bill can send them spiraling. Okay. Now, utility bills used to be something you could catch up on, but now one bad month can put you in debt for whole year. What's making people even more angry is how fast these bills come. There was no warning, no preparation, nothing. The bills just went up, just sudden spike. Meanwhile, wages in America have not moved. The cost of living keeps climbing, but paychecks stay the same. Rent is high, food is high, gas is high, and now electricity. It feels like every basic thing you need to live is turning into a financial battle. Americans are starting to say what they have been, feeling for a long time. The system is broken. It's not normal to work full time and still struggle to keep the light on. It's not normal to have to choose between turning off the heater and putting your health at risk. It's not normal to have companies making billions while customers are crying for help. Now, People are calling on lawmakers, but you know how that goes. Some talk, some promises, and nothing changes. Every day, people are the ones paying the prices. And the sad truth, if these electricity companies don't get regulated soon, the bills will keep going up. Folks are fed up, and they have every right to be, okay? When the cost of simply, surviving becomes a burden, something is seriously wrong. Americans are crying out, and the message is loud and clear. They can't afford this anymore. If anything changes, the country is looking at a future where having electricity becomes a privilege, not a basic right. Guys, let me know what your own take are in the comments. I would love to read from you. What's your take about this electricity bill? How much is electricity bill at your end right now? Because I'm just seeing a lot of people crying out about these bills and how much it's going. Imagine paying 600 or 800 previous month, and all of a sudden you're getting to pay, $1,200 just because of what. Okay, you didn't change anything, your usage didn't change. In fact, they had to unplug most of the things that they use in the house. There is something seriously wrong which has to be addressed. But yeah, let me know what your own take are, guys, in the comment. Let's have that conversation. Please do well to like and subscribe, and don't forget to give the video a thumbs up so that more people can see. Credit belongs to original creators of this video. See you all on my next. Bye, guys.